We interrupt our regularly scheduled programming now to bring you an update on breaking news from Nashville International Airport.
Joining us right now, Erica Lathan, live on the scene where two airplanes have collided. No one hurt. Erica?
Well, that's exactly right, Scott and Stacy. Two airplanes, apparently one was being towed. I'll step out so you can get a better look. We're here outside the Atlantic Aviation area. This is the general aviation area at Nashville International Airport where the smaller private jets are housed. And basically we're told that a Gulfstream aircraft, the one with the nose facing you, was being towed. It's a Gulfstream aircraft. It was being towed on the Atlantic Aviation ramp. It apparently broke loose from the tug somehow, and then it hit another aircraft that was parked here. It hit the Beech 90 aircraft. That aircraft is registered to West Air Holdings out of Memphis. Now, again, there were no injuries, but what's interesting, the aircraft that you see sideways there, the one with the letters N9288TT, that is the aircraft that was parked. The other aircraft, the Gulfstream jet, the one with the nose pointing toward the camera, that's the one that was being towed. It was apparently being moved here on the airport property, and somehow it broke loose from the tug and ended up hitting another parked aircraft. So it's a dramatic scene here. We don't often see things like this. We're told no one was aboard either aircraft. There are no injuries, but emergency personnel are standing by. We're also told that the FAA will be looking into this. Anytime there's a crash or incident involving aircraft, the FAA does a full investigation. So, Scott and Stacy, that is the latest here from, again, the Atlantic area of the general aviation here at Nashville International Airport. Do you guys have any questions for me while we're here?
Erica, there is some liquid on the ground. It doesn't look like they hit in such a way that fuel would be dislodged. Is that fuel, or do you think it's something else?
I'm not exactly sure. That could be fuel, because now that you pointed out, there is a little trail there where they have put sand or some sort of substance to absorb some sort of liquid. So perhaps a fuel tank may have been breached by this crash. We're not sure, but there is some sort of liquid that appears to be coming from one of the planes, but it looks like it's under control because there is a ring of basically sand there, as you pointed out, Scott, to absorb that material. And the emergency personnel are all here standing by on the scene.
Erica, we know that the larger airplane, the Gulfstream, is owned by the H.J. Heinz Ketchup Company out of Pittsburgh. Do we know why it was being towed? Was there an issue with the plane in the first place?
We're not sure about that. I don't know, but sometimes here at the airport, you can use, I guess, a towing vehicle to kind of drag aircraft around or move them by their wheels. So that process in and of itself is not unusual. And it doesn't necessarily indicate an aircraft that would have been disabled. It may have just been one that was being moved from point A to point B, so we're not sure about the status of the aircraft at this point. But again, pretty dramatic, and interesting that the parked aircraft is the one that, kind of ended up sideways with the rear tail kind of airborne there.
That is funny. Having worked in Nashville for a couple of decades, I tell you, this sort of thing, just like you said, it just simply does not happen very often at the airport. And as you mentioned, this is a situation not where two planes really collided under their own power, but the big one was being towed, across the tarmac and slams into the other one. Have you seen stuff like this other places?
I haven't. In fact, Erica, you said it just exactly correctly, that the picture is sort of deceiving, because when we first looked at it, we thought that maybe the smaller one was the one that hit the larger one, and maybe it went up and over it, or we really couldn't figure out what was going on here. But interesting to find out that it was in fact parked, and it looks like the larger Gulfstream just came up under the tail and sort of nosed its way on through.
You bet. And the really important thing, as Erica mentioned as well, nobody was in either plane, nobody hurt either on those planes.
Absolutely.
In the ground, so that's good. Erica, thank you. Well, we will have more on this story coming up tonight on Fox 17 News, both at 9 and 10. Right now, let's return you to our regularly scheduled programming, which is already in progress.